Hey everybody, this is David McCree, CPA, the nonprofit tax guy. It's just come to my attention that the IRS, certain employees at the IRS are giving out incorrect information regarding whether or not an organization needs to file a Form 990N. As you know, probably small organizations that normally have $50,000 or less in annual gross receipts, they don't have to file, they're eligible to file the Form 990N, okay, which is an electronic postcard. They don't have to file the 990EZ if they don't want to. So a number of organizations have been trying to file their Form 990N, which you can do for free at the IRS website. And they've been getting this error message. And you can see that it says it's a database validation error. This particular return, electronic return, got two rejections reasons. First one was the return type indicated in the return header must match the return type established with the IRS for the employer ID number. Second one is the EIN in the return must have been established as an exempt organization return filer in the e-file database. So basically the IRS is just saying, hey, we don't recognize you. We don't have anybody listed under that employer ID number that's a tax exempt organization. Therefore, we're rejecting the return. Now, it used to be that they would accept those returns, but I was told that in some recent date they started rejecting them. So what happens usually is the person will call the IRS and they may or may not get correct advice. Some IRS employees have been saying, oh, well, you know, if your organization is really small, like less than $5,000 a year in gross receipts, then you know, you don't have to apply for tax exempt status and you don't have to file a Form 990N. Okay. And that's just not correct. Okay, so we're gonna go over a couple of things here so you understand what the situation is and what needs to be done about it, what can be done about it. So first, it is correct that an organization, a tax exempt organization that's holding itself out as a public charity, okay, which means it's been incorporated in its whatever state it operates in, or it is operating as an unincorporated association. It has a constitution and bylaws, okay, articles of organization, and it has gross receipts of less than $5,000. It's not required to file a Form 1023 requesting recognition of tax exempt status. It can, as long as its gross receipts stay under $5,000, it can continue operating. However, it does have a Form 990N filing requirement. And I got into a discussion with an IRS person about this on the phone, and the employee was very cooperative and very open to listening to what I had to say. That's not always the case. So what I want to do is show you where that authority comes from. So if they tell you, oh, you're a small organization, you don't have to file anything. So here we are at the IRS website, www.irs.gov. Okay, we're going to click over here on charities and nonprofits, and I will just preface the rest of this video by saying the IRS does change its website from time to time, so this may not be, this sequence of clicks may not be the same forever. All right, so then we're going to come down to annual reporting and filing. Click on that. Then we're going to click on here, annual electronic notice for small exempt organizations. And then we're going to scroll down until we find frequently asked questions. And we're going to click on that. And finally, we're going to click on who must file. Okay. And you have a series of question and answers here. And the one we're looking for is here. Must an organization file Form 990N if it was not required to file an application for tax exemption? Okay. So we're looking at this. And I'm just going to read it, okay? Yes, certain organizations do not have to apply for tax exemption, but still have a Form 990N filing requirement. If your organization did not file an application for tax exemption because it is a 501c3 organization whose gross receipts in each taxable year are normally not more than $5,000, or because it is exempt under another code section such as a 501c4, C4s are not required to file for recognition either, an officer of the organization should call Customer Account Services at this number and ask that the organization be set up to allow filing of Form 990N. Okay, so in other words, the IRS hasn't heard of you, so you need to let them know, hey, we're tax exempt, okay? We're not required, because of our low gross receipts, we're not required to file for recognition of tax exemption, but we do need to file the Form 990N, okay? Don't let them tell you you don't have to file it. You can show them this, okay, right here on the IRS website. You can direct them to this. They're sitting in front of a computer and they know how to find the IRS website, charities section. So what they will, in the IRS language, what they need to do is set up a sub-module for you, okay, for your organization. That's how they refer to it. They say, oh, you know, we'll set up a sub-module, and that takes about 6 weeks, okay? And now, in some instances, the IRS can actually file the Form 990N for you, okay? If, you know, if you, for some reason you have to file it before the 6 weeks, you know, is up, before they have time to set up the sub-module, they can actually do it for you, you know, so you don't lose tax exempt status. But there it is right there, right on the IRS website. Even if you are a small organization, you still have a Form 990N filing requirement. So let's talk a little bit about that. First thing I want to do is we're gonna go to IRS Publication 557. Okay, you can look that up on the internet search engine. Just say IRS Pub 557, and we're gonna go to page 24 on this particular version. Organizations not required to file Form 1023 or Form 1023-EZ. Okay, it says some organizations are not required to file. So, for instance, churches or any organization other than a private foundation normally having annual gross receipts of not more than $5,000. Okay, and that there's specific guidance on how you figure out if your annual gross receipts are not more than $5,000, and that's right over here in the center column, which says gross receipts test. You can read that, and there's a lot of examples here, what ifs. However, the important thing to know is that, and I'm looking for it here on the page in this tiny print, once your gross receipts go over the $5,000, you essentially have 90 days from the end of the year that you exceeded the 5,000. You have 90 days to file the Form 1023-EZ, or if you're eligible, or the Form 1023. And it's in here. I just saw it. Here it is. An organization with gross receipts more than the amounts in the gross receipts test above, unless otherwise exempt from filing Form 1023 or 1023-EZ, must apply for recognition of exemption within 90 days after the end of the period in which the amounts are exceeded. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful to you. This is information I just gave you is information that's not really well known, even at the IRS. So take that into account, and conduct your affairs accordingly. If I can help you, contact me, nonprofittaxguy.com. Have a great day.